What type of weird shit they got going on?
Soft to the touch, let you hold some, let you get a handful, baby, she's a whole lot of woman. Soft kisses on some fat lips, it's yours, baby.
What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Siobhan, and if you're not, y'all, thank y'all for coming back again to see you, girl. And if you have not subscribed yet, what you waiting on? Hit that button. It's free. But anywho, y'all, yes, y'all read that title right. So of course today we're doing something a little different. We're gonna give a story time because I just feel like this is a really good story time, and I'm pretty sure some people have stories that may be similar. Like, girl, you're not gonna believe this if you wasn't there. So this is one of those types of stories, and as y'all have read by the title, yes, this is a story time about how a certain someone cheated on me with his sister. Let's hop right into the story. So this was summertime 2000 something. I'm not gonna give y'all the exact year. And during this time, this is around the time where I used to go by my cousin's house. We were really close. She's a few years older than me. I used to go by my cousin's house like every weekend because the apartment she stayed in at this time was lit, y'all. They always had something going on. Everybody lived in this apartment complex. They had a pool. Y'all, it was just like the place to be, especially in the summer. So this summer I was over there really heavy. So we're gonna give fake names in the story just to like hide people's identity because everybody don't want themselves to be in the story time. So we're gonna call my cousin Butterball, y'all. So I used to be by Butterball's house heavy in the summer, y'all. These apartments was so lit. So I would go over there, and like I said, they had a pool. It would be really hot in New Orleans, so we would go over there to swim. And y'all, this particular weekend we went to the pool just like we normally do. So, you know, we hanging out, chilling in the pool, having fun, talking. They have a few other people there, y'all. We stayed in the pool real long this day. So nighttime came, so it started getting dark and everything. And this guy comes to the pool. He just like, you know, take off his shirt, get in the pool, kind of like swimming around a little bit, chilling. So Butterball was like, I think that's my neighbor who live upstairs. And I was like, oh, he kind of cute. And she was like, yeah, he is cute. So, you know, we just kind of like chilling, hanging around, swimming a little bit. So, y'all, we gonna give him a name. His name gonna be Dumpling because he loved dumplings. So, y'all, Dumpling comes up and kind of like introduce himself, you know, and he have this accent, a beautiful accent, y'all. So I'm just like, you know, where you from? He's like, I'm from Haiti. And I was like, okay, you have a beautiful accent. So he just asking us questions, you know, like, so he noticed Butterball. He was like, you live downstairs from me. And she was like, yeah, you know, I was just telling her that we neighbors or whatever. So we just kind of like kicking it, talking about just normal stuff that you would talk about when you meet people. He did tell us that he was here for school. So he was attending school. He was going to college down here. We was asking him, you know, did he like it? Is it a big difference from what he's used to? Just kind of like chopping it up. So, y'all, he kind of started, like, flirting with me a little bit. And, of course, I gave him a little something similar. I gave him a little, you know how we do. So, we was flirting and everything. So, my cousin at this time, she just kind of, like, you know, went off and went her own way. Because I guess she felt like, you know, I see what's going on. Y'all flirting between each other, this, that, and the third. So, then, later on, his roommate comes down to the pool. So, he comes to the pool, and he's talking to Butterball. I'm not going to name him because he's not a big part of this, but him and Butterball talking, chopping it up, shooting the breeze. You know, they laughing and everything. So it's kind of like she's talking to him. I'm talking to Dumpling. So that was that, y'all. Me and Dumpling end up staying at the pool. My Butterball went home, and the guy she was talking to, he ended up leaving too. So me and Dumpling end up staying at the pool, y'all. We talked for the longest. And at this time, I don't think the pool closed because, y'all, we didn't leave the pool until like 1 a.m. So we still talking, and by this time we done asked each other every question we could possibly ask. We like laughing till our stomach is hurting, okay? I mean, like, we are dying laughing. Like, this man is funny as hell. And it just wasn't like a funny, like, you know, like girls laugh at anything a dude say when they're cute, when they look good, when they, you know, trying to flirt or whatever. It wasn't that type of laugh, y'all. This dude was really funny, and add on top of that his accent. So it made it 10 times funnier because some words he was saying, I'm laughing at what he's saying, but I'm also laughing at how he's saying the words. So, y'all, we just like kikiing and laughing and talking. So, like I said, we stayed at the pool. I don't remember if the pool didn't close on the weekends or what happened, but we was in the pool till like 1 a.m. So we get out the pool, we walk inside, he walked me home. Of course, he lives upstairs. My cousin Butterball live right downstairs. So I go inside and I'm telling her, you know, oh, he said he here for school, this, that, and the third. We just, you know how girls do, just running it down of what we talked about, just giving her the spiel of everything, you know, everything he told me. And I'm like, oh, he's so cute. Like, his accent is beautiful. His teeth, y'all, this man's teeth were like pearls, like shine, like top tier, baby. I don't know what he used, but he is a he's really big on like hygiene and teeth and everything. So anywho, y'all, so I'm telling, you know, Butterball about what happened, what went down, what we talked about. She's like, oh, he cute. Do he have a girlfriend? Do he have somebody? And at this point, y'all, we didn't even talk about that. Like, we was laughing so much, we didn't even talk about that. And honestly, that first night, he didn't get my number. I didn't ask him for his number. Like, none of that happened. So after that happened, I believe we just, you know, we seen him later the next day. He came downstairs, and I'm not sure where he went, but we kind of like talked a little bit in a breezeway, and that was that. So fast forward to the weekend after that, I'm back at my cousin's house again. Y'all, when I tell y'all I was there like every weekend, y'all. I couldn't wait. I was there every weekend. So I see him again, and we talking, you know, we laughing. He asking me, you know, what did you eat today? Did you eat? Do you want some food? I'm like, you know, no, I'm good. So he was like, y'all going to the pool today? And I was like, we can. So anyway, y'all, we end up going to the pool again, talking, laughing, cha-cha. Y'all, we was like dying laughing, like we had known each other for years. It was crazy. So we end up talking, laughing, and everything. Pretty much the same thing we did the night before, just like talking about different things, talking about stuff that's going on in the world, like everything, y'all. So we did that for a little while, and that day he ended up he asked me for my number. He got my number. So after that, we got out the pool, you know, went inside. I think I went home. Yeah, y'all, this was years ago, so I'm really trying to remember. I don't want to tell y'all no, even a small lie. So I went home, and he called me the next day. So he calls, and I don't think I answered. Yeah, I didn't answer. I called him back because I was busy. I was doing something. So I didn't know the number, but I kind of had a feeling that it was him because it was like an unknown, a number that I didn't know, that wasn't familiar. So he called me. I'm sorry, I called him. I called him back, and we talking on the phone, having another little kiki, cool little moment. Y'all, we stayed on the phone for like 4 hours. So we talking, just running about. Y'all, the conversation came, so it was like a natural conversation. Like, he's really good at talking. He's really good at holding a conversation. He's funny. So the time was just flying by. It didn't even feel like we had been on the phone that long. So during this time, y'all, we would just like really talk on the phone like every night, every day. We would be like falling asleep on the phone. I would wake up on the phone with him, y'all. It was like, you know, like a high school love, like you're in high school, you just like over the moon, you know, with somebody, and y'all just talking all day, y'all falling asleep on the phone, getting up in the morning, call, going to sleep at night on the phone, wake up on, y'all, it was crazy. So it was that. And one time he called, and my mama was in the background, and he was like, tell your mama I said hi. And I'm like, whoa. So he was like, tell your mama I said hi. You can't, you know, why you can't tell your mama I say hi? So I'm like, I don't know about that. Kind of left that alone. Didn't say anything. So y'all, this had to be like sometime later, maybe like 2 weeks later, we on the phone again. My mom in the background. So once again, he's like, tell your mom I said hi. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, no, like, are you trying to like slick side meet my mama? Do you just want her to know like who you are? Like, are you trying to like, what's going on? So my mama hear me saying like, you know, asking him about why he wanted to tell my mama hi. So she's like, who is that? So I'm like, okay. I'm like, this Dumpling. She's like, Dumpling? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, you know, where you met him at? So I'm telling her. So I said, you know, he said hi. So he's like, put me on speakerphone. So I put him on speakerphone, and she heard his accent, y'all. She was like, oh my God. So they running it, y'all. Like I said, he is a talker. So my mama is like dying laughing. So now at this point, it's like he got her. So my mama is like dying laughing at him, y'all, like crying laughing. She's like, oh my God, he is so funny. So after we hang up the phone, of course, she's like, oh my God, he's so funny. Da da da. I love his accent. He's a great talker. So y'all, fast forward to like maybe like 4 or 5 months out. So at this point, I kind of, him and my mama kind of like had like built like this little relationship. So y'all, I finally let him meet my mama. So y'all, my mama fell in love with him. Like him and my mama, y'all, they were like this. So my mom ended up cooking one day. So she cooked, and I, you know, invited him over. So I was like, you know, I'm going to eat by my mom. My mom cooked such and such. So he's like, okay. So y'all, and at this point, he didn't have a car. I believe he actually caught a taxi. He did. He caught a taxi. He would catch a taxi. So he came and he ate, and we laughed and we talked, and, you know, all chit-chatting it up. So y'all, my mama is like in love with him at this point. And I'm like, girl, you don't even know this man. So that was that, y'all. So I would still like go back and forth by my cousin's house. We would spend time together. Like I said, he didn't have a car, but we would like do small stuff. Like we would go walk places from the apartment complex. Y'all, this was some years ago, so keep that in mind. So we would do like all kinds of little stuff together. And like I said, he would catch a taxi cab to come see me. Y'all, it was just like, baby, he was putting in the effort. The effort was there, okay? It was there. There was no question about it. So all this was going on, like we was like hanging out. Like eventually I started introducing him to my friends. Like my friends loved him. At the time, one of my best friends, I'm not gonna say her name, we're gonna call her Razzle Dazzle. So y'all, Razzle Dazzle, they were like this. So it was like him and my mama, Dumpling and Razzle Dazzle. Like y'all, everybody loved him. Like everybody loved him. So him and my mom would even like talk on the phone. One point I went inside and my mom was on the phone and I'm like, girl, who you on the phone with? She like, oh, this is Dumpling. She like crying, laughing, dying, laughing. I'm like, okay. So that happened, you know, they chit-chatting it up, laughing. So then he calls me and he like, yeah, I just got off the phone with your mom, blah, 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 this, that, and the third. And at the time, I'm kind of like, it's kind of weird, but it's not at the same time, because he's just like he's like a really lovable person. Like he's like a super fun person to be around, y'all. When I would be with this man, like we would be upstairs at his apartment, we would like, I would leave that place with my stomach hurting, because he was so funny, y'all. He was so fun. He was like a time by himself. He was like a time. And it wouldn't be much that we would be doing, because like I said, he didn't have a car, so we didn't do a whole lot. But anytime we was together, y'all, this man was a time. Like we had the time of our life. It could be like 6-7 hours then passed and it feels like 30 minutes, because baby, when you having fun, who's counting when you having fun? So y'all, all of this is going on at this point. So him and my mama is like locked in. Him and my friends like locked in. Him and mama like talk on the phone. Like he would even go to my mom's house and like get food when she would cook. It was just like crazy, y'all. If I didn't answer my phone, like he would call my mom, like, you know, she didn't answer her phone. My mom would call me, yeah, hey, Dumpling called looking for you, da 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 da, you need to call him. And it was just like, yo, it was crazy. It was like mind-blowing how close me and this dude was. He was like a best friend to me. He was like a male best friend that I had a crush on. It's like we had a crush on each other, but we was like besties, like the best of friends. We would talk about everything, everybody. It was crazy, y'all. So we're gonna speed this story up a little bit. So y'all, fast forward, now it's like maybe like a year into everything, y'all. He done got him a car, nice car. So now we going places, like he bringing me food, like we able to do certain things, we having fun. Now y'all, mind y'all, I told y'all he's Haitian, so he's not from here. So he did tell me, told me at this point, he was telling me that, you know, we was in a car together taking a ride. He was like, oh, you know, my sister's coming down to visit. I'm trying to figure out, you know, what we gonna do. Trying to show around, show some fun things to do. Like, what should we do? So I'm kind of like giving him ideas, throwing certain things out there. I'm like, you know, what she like? What kind of stuff, you know, what kind of stuff you trying to show her? Do you like, do you want to bring her to a party? Do you want to go like bring her to see downtown? Like, what type of person is she? Like, what kind of stuff is she into? So I'm asking him all of these questions. We talking about it. Yeah, we had talked about like a lot of his family members before, like his sister and, you know, certain things back home, certain people back home. And she didn't live in Haiti, y'all. I don't remember. I want to say New York. I want to say she was in New York at the time. So yeah, so he's just telling me like, you know, she's coming down. So he like, you know, we need to try to spend as much time as we can, because, you know, I don't want you to feel like, you know, left out when she come, you know, because I know we used to seeing each other every day, doing stuff every day, and she's gonna be down here I think she was down for 2 weeks. So I'm like, okay, cool, like we can do this, we can do that, you know. If you have any questions that you don't know, things that you want me to show you or point you to, I can point you in the right direction. Like if you tell me like what she like to do and stuff like that. So we just talking about all that kind of stuff, y'all. So let's fast forward to the time she comes down. So at this point, I didn't know exactly when she was coming, like when she flew in. But I'm at my cousin's house again, like I am every weekend. So I think at this time, okay, so my cousin was outside at this time. I was in the house. So she was outside. So just so happened while she was outside, Dumpling and his sister was pulling up. So they pulled up. I'm guessing they got everything out the car, like her luggage and everything. So I don't think Butterball wanted to look crazy. Like she was just kind of like, come see your sister, come see your sister. His sister's outside. So she kind of like played it off, waited a little bit. You know, she spoke to Dumpling and everything. And she kind of like came inside and she was like, Dumpling's sister is here. He just introduced me to her. You knew she was coming, right? And I'm like, yeah, I knew she was coming. So, you know, that's that. So I went back outside. By the time I went outside, his sister hadn't already went inside, went upstairs. So, you know, me and him talking, kind of chopping it up, shooting it up. He just like, yeah, you know, we're going to go hang out tonight. I think we're going to go on Bourbon maybe. Y'all, this is editing me from the future as I edit this video. I know y'all probably thinking like, damn, why didn't she ever think, like, why didn't he introduce me to his sister? And at the time, y'all, like I said, this was some years ago, so I was young. And I didn't really think about that until after the fact because he played it so smooth. So I didn't really think about why he didn't introduce us till like way later. Not sure. He was like, I'm just trying to like get her acclimated with the city and see what it is that she likes to do because this is just like different from what she's used to. So I'm like, okay, cool, you know, no biggie. So that happened. That was kind of like earlier in the day. So he did call me again, and I was still downstairs at my cousin's house. He did call me again. We kind of talked on the phone for a little bit, just, you know, regular stuff or whatever. And let's fast forward it to that night. So that night, him and his sister get dressed. They head out to go hang out. I didn't see this. I heard him. I seen him get in the car. Like, of course, I was looking out the window. I seen them get in the car, so they just got in the car and they went, you know, to go hang out. I'm not sure exactly. I think they went downtown this night. So he called me once he got downtown. He was like, you know, she's having a good time. It's a lot of people out here, blah, blah, blah. All this stuff about downtown Bourbon Street. He's like, oh, it's so nasty out here, stink out here, but she's having a good time. So that was that. And I don't think I talked to him until the next day, like later that day, because he was telling me like they had a hangover. They had the hand grenade things. If y'all know what a hand grenade is. It'll do it to you. A hand grenade gonna do it to you every time. So he was telling me like they had the hand grenades. She enjoyed the hand grenades. So bam, y'all. It came to it. It's nighttime. It's the same day, but now it's nighttime. So y'all, I told y'all my cousin Butterball was kind of like talking to his roommate a little bit. So they was real cool. So she was upstairs. She went upstairs, you know, by his roommate. So they talking, laughing, doing the same stuff they do. And Dumpling and his sister was inside at this time. So my cousin come downstairs and she's like, kind of like, y'all know how some, like, not frantic, but just like, bitch. And I'm like, what? And she like, Dumpling is in a bathroom with his sister. She was like, I just came from up there and I heard a female voice. He was in the bathroom and she was like, I think he was in there with his sister because his sister wasn't in his room. I heard a female voice and I know he was in the bathroom. And I'm like, what type of weird shit they got going on? Y'all, I'm like, at this time, I'm not thinking. I'm just like, ugh, like what type of weird shit they on? So I'm like, what? And she like, yeah. So I'm like, at this point, I'm just trying to figure out, like, I'm like I said, this was years ago, y'all. I'm just stuck on the fact that he's in the bathroom with his sister. And I'm like, what the fuck? So she's like, yeah, they inside, they in the bathroom together, whatever. I don't know what's going on. So at this point, I'm like, okay. So I go upstairs. And when I go upstairs, he is like coming out of the bathroom. And when he seen me, y'all, when I tell you, you would have thought this man seen a fucking ghost. You would have thought he seen a ghost. And I'm like, what's going on? He was like, y'all, he didn't know. His eyes was like glassy, like he was stutter. He didn't know what to say. I was like, were you in the bathroom with your sister? And he was like, I was helping her with her dress, or like her zipper or something. And I'm like, okay, like, why in the bathroom? Why you can help her outside the bathroom or in the room? Like, what? And I'm like, usually when I need help with my zipper, I use my arm and figure it out. But I'm like, okay. So at this point, I'm not going nowhere, baby. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. What's this at? We need to get sis in here. So I'm just like stalling and just like asking him certain questions. And you could tell he was so damn nervous, y'all. He was so nervous, y'all. Now, at this point, I don't know why, but my mom had called me. And y'all, I told y'all, him and my mom were like this, y'all. They were like, my mom loved him. Like, he could do no wrong, baby. She loved him and he loved my mama. Like, he would call my mama phone like crazy. And they would sit there and talk about all kinds of crazy stuff. Like I said, y'all, he's a talker. And he's just like a really lovable, friendly person. Like, he's just a fun person. So, I'm just in the apartment stalling. I'm trying to figure out, like, what the fuck is going on? What is this? So, he, like, stuttering over his words. So, at this point, I'm like, you stuttering. Like, I'm like, you stuttering. Like, why are you stuttering? Like, why are you nervous? What you nervous about? So, y'all, his sister comes out the bathroom. She comes out the bathroom in a towel. She comes out the bathroom in a towel. So I'm like, hold up. Why is your sister coming out the bathroom in a towel to go to your room? So y'all, at this point, he don't know what to do. So she's like, what's going on? What's going on? So he's like, so y'all, I'm just sitting there waiting. I'm gonna wait for you to get your words out, brother. I'm waiting. So at this point, y'all, he don't know what to say. So she starts like, I know that this ain't not what I think it is. He's like, no. He's telling me, he's like, Vonnie, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't know. And at this point, y'all, I'm like, this nigga lied and said that this was his sister. This ain't his sister. This clearly ain't his sister. Why is your sister mad? So I said, why is she upset if this is your sister? And she's like, sister, he told you I was his sister, so I'm your sister, y'all. So now she's crying and just frantic, and it's just like, she's like going ham, not on me, she's just like going crazy, like crying, and you tell her feelings was really hurt. And I'm still standing there like, what the fuck? Like, what is this? This some shit you see on TV. So I go off on him, y'all. So I'm just like, you stupid as hell, la la la. I just like saying whatever I'm saying, y'all. I can't repeat it because I don't know exactly what I say. I probably was sounding stupid as hell, saying shit that don't make sense, because at this point, I'm pissed, nigga. You lied to me and told me that this is your sister, and it's clearly not your sister. Yeah, I'm like pointing, I'm like in his face and calling him all kind of names and liars and this, that, and the third. And at this point, my cousin had came back up, because I'm guessing she heard downstairs what was going on, y'all. So she came upstairs and she's like, come on. And I'm not the type, y'all, even though I was young, I'm not the type to fault the woman. I'm not that woman. I'm never gonna fault the woman. I'm always fault the ninja. So I'm hooping and hollering at him, going off on him, calling him all kinds of names, this, that, and the third. And so after that, y'all, all that went down. So of course, me and Butterball went downstairs and we talking about it. And I'm still like hot. I'm still mad. I'm still pissed. Like this, he lied. Like da da da. And mind y'all, I'm mad, y'all, because this is like my best friend. This was like a best friend to me. And in my head, I'm like, damn, I'm about to lose my best friend. Like this is it had nothing to do with like the I guess the love relationship that we had. It had nothing to do with that. It was like more of the friendship, y'all. Remember, y'all, I told y'all I was on the phone with this man all day, every day. I'm talking about even when he didn't have a car, this man will catch a cab to come see me. He'll catch a cab there and back to come see me, y'all. This was like my best friend, and I'm like, I'm about to lose my best friend. Y'all, this was the person, like anytime something happened, I'll be like, man, let me call Dumpling and let him know. Man, this happened. I know Dumpling. Man, everything, y'all, was Dumpling. That was my ninja. That was my best friend, y'all. Anything that happened during the day, I'm like, I got to tell Dumpling. He would be the first person I would think to call or to tell. So y'all, I'm just thinking about all of this, and I'm like, oh my God, like I can't believe that this man lied and told me that this was his sister. So y'all, of course, like any man would do, he's calling and calling and texting and calling and calling. He's calling my mama. He's calling Butterball. He's calling, and I'm just like, I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk. I don't want to hear it. Nothing. I don't want to hear it. You lied, and I hate a liar. I hate a liar to this day. I hate a lie, because I feel like in relationships, like you don't have to lie. And I get it, like sometimes stuff happen and you kind of feel like you have to lie, but so y'all, I didn't talk to him. He was like going crazy. He was like popping up at my mama's house. He was calling my mama. I was not giving him the time of day. I didn't want to hear it, y'all. So when I finally did talk to him, honestly, this had to be like maybe 2 weeks later. He was like, please let me explain. I can explain that I just that and the third. And in my head, I'm like, nigga, there's nothing for you to explain. You lied. You lied. And it's a big bold-faced lie. So anywho, I finally like let him tell his story, which once you lie to me, it's kind of like you pretty much done. Like once you lie about certain things, it's like this is kind of different because this was big, but like once you lie about small stuff with me, if you lie about something small, what you want me to think you're gonna do when something big happen? You're gonna lie. So I'm like, okay, let me hear him out. So yeah, he's telling me, he's like, Bonnie, he's like, I didn't think that this was gonna turn into this. He was like, you know, we met at the pool. He was like, think about it. We met at the pool. We was friends. He was like, I never thought in a million years that you would turn into my best friend and I would be in love with you and this, that, and the third. He was like, I just didn't know how to tell you. He was like, it was too late to tell you, you know, that I had somebody. And he was like, I just really didn't know what to do. He was like, I didn't want to lose you. He was like, so I just lied until I could figure something else. What else you gonna figure out? How you thought I wasn't gonna know? And I'm downstairs. I didn't live downstairs, but I was always there. So he's just like, y'all, crying and just like screaming, and I could barely understand what he's saying. He's just like, I didn't know what to do. I really didn't know I got myself into this. And he was like, I didn't think that this was gonna happen. I didn't think he was gonna turn into this. And he was just like, y'all, just like I was telling y'all, he was just telling me, like, I feel like I'm losing a part of me, like I'm losing my best friend. He was like, I even, you know, I tried talking to your mom, and y'all, my mama loved him so much that, and if y'all, my mama is kind of like anti-bullshit when it comes to men. She's like, ain't doing it, ain't dealing with it, nothing, not even if she think nothing, she ain't dealing with it. She's like one of those people that would rather that's just gonna be single if I gotta deal with any bullshit, which I feel her on it, because I would much rather be single than deal with bullshit. So y'all, at this point, like, I'm just listening, and a part of me, like I said, I was really young, and this was like my best friend, so a part of me was like, I kind of feel where he was coming from. Like, this is a man that's not from here. He's not even from the States. You find a friend and you kind of like fall in love with this person. It's like, damn, just like that. Like, I didn't even, but at the same time, you still lied. Like, you still lied. So yeah, I'm just kind of like hearing him out, and I'm just listening, and I'm like, I hear you, but So y'all, I let him, he's like, so what does this mean for us? And I'm like, you lied. Like, I can't trust you. You lied. He's like, what about our friendship? What about what we had? What about, and I'm like, nothing. And y'all, this, like, with me and him, everything just kind of like flowed. Everything just flowed. It's like everything was great. And it was almost probably like too good to be true. But it was one of those things to where it was like, I'm gonna enjoy it. And I did. I enjoyed it while it lasted. I enjoyed it. He was a really great person to me. And so all of that happened, y'all. So I pretty much like cut him off. I seen him a few times after that, but it was just kind of like, I got a little attitude. I still got a little attitude. I'm still salty. So I would kind of like either just hi and bye him, or just give him like the little neighbor head nod, like that type of thing. And that happened, and he tried, like, he would call me for months. He would call my mom for the longest, y'all. And so we're gonna fast forward some years later, y'all. Like, this is years and years later. Like, even after that happened, like, he would still call my mama to check on her. You know, he would ask about me, see how I was doing, and that was that. I didn't talk to this man. So years now, we did follow each other on social media. No, actually, I unfollowed him, and he was still following me. And I also made another page since then. He also followed my new page. So I wouldn't talk to this man. He was just pretty much just done. Me and him was done. So, like I said, fast forward some years later, y'all. This is after I done had a kid, after I was married. Like, my husband had passed away. So when he found out that my husband passed away, he called my mom and was just like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that this has happened. Please tell me she's okay. You know, I know this is hard. She loved her husband. Like I said, he followed me on social media, y'all. So, you know, he was just sending his condolences and everything. He was like, you know, do you think I should call her? And she was like, well, you know, I don't know. This might not be a good time. So he was just like, well, just let her know that if she need anything, I'm here. You know, I can help if she need if there anything she need or her daughter needs, like, you know, blah, blah, blah. So, you know, my mom told me, and I'm like, oh, you know, thank you. That was nice of him. This, that, and the third. So, y'all, I would say some months later, he would like, I believe he DM'd me. Yeah, he DM'd me, and he was just wrote this whole thing about, you know, I'm so sorry about what happened. You know, I know how much your husband meant to you. You know, y'all a beautiful family. This, that, and the third. Just telling me how sorry he was. And that was that. So we would like DM every now and then, off and on. So now, y'all, this is fast forward to some years later. At this point, my daughter is like maybe like 4. She's like 4, I want to say. And me and him started talking. I ended up giving him my number. We started talking again, y'all. Once again, now it's kind of like back to that whole friendship thing we had, like talking all the time. When he would go on his lunch break, like we would talk his whole lunch break. He would FaceTime, y'all. He was a talker. Like, he loved to talk, FaceTime. He would FaceTime me. And, you know, we would just talk, kind of like catch up and talk about old stuff that happened, or just talk about stuff that's going on social media, just in the world, whatever, family, like whatever. He was like, man, you know, I would call your mom, just ask her how you doing and checking up on you. He was like, I called her for the longest. He was like, you just don't know. I'm like, you know, she told me sometime or whatever. And he was just like, you know, I'm so glad that you got to experience a beautiful marriage, da da da, you know, this, that, and the third, that whole spiel. And he was like, no matter what, he was like, I always, you know, want to see you happy. And he was like, I'm glad that you chose somebody that was able to make you happy. You know, you could experience like real love and being married, this, that, and the third. And I'm like, you know, thank you. So y'all, we talked for some time, and he finally, this was maybe like a year after like we started talking again, he was just, you know, asking me, did I want to travel? You know, he even asked me, did I want to go to Haiti? And I was like, no, you know, I don't think so. So y'all, I told him no about the whole Haiti thing. So anyway, we ended up traveling together. And y'all, the first time we traveled, when I tell y'all, I'm going to try to insert a video of the time we went out. Y'all, I had the time of my life. I was like, oh my God. So we went to Houston. And the first spot we went to was this restaurant. We went to this restaurant, so we ate. Some of his friends met us there. You know, he introduced me. We talked, we ate, we drunk, you know, chit chat for a little while. That was that. So everybody, after we ate and everything, everybody was trying to figure out, you know, what we doing tonight? Y'all hanging out? Where we going? So he was like, you know, where the spot's at? Let us know where the spot's at. And even before we travel, y'all, he offered me, he was like, if you want to get different hotel rooms, or if you just want to get like a room with double beds, that's fine. You know, we don't have to share a bed. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. So we did that. And like I said, we ended up going out to eat. So after we ate lunch, he kind of like was asking around, you know, asking his friends what was going on that night, like what they wanted to get into. So one of his friends, it was his friend and his wife. So he was saying that somebody they knew had a party. So he was like, you know, we can go to this should be cool. So we're like, okay, he like, you down for going? I'm like, yeah, of course. So I had, you know, all of my clothes ready. No matter where we went, I had something for like if we need to dress up, if we need to dress down. So he was like he was really into like fashion, y'all. Like he could dress his ass off, and he wanted the person you know, I'm out with him. So he's just like, you got something to wear to go out, like something dressy or whatever? And I'm like, yeah, I'm good. So he's like, okay. So we get back to the room. We taking our clothes out, y'all. And as I'm getting dressed, he telling me, I think at the time I had a sew-in, and I didn't know. I think I did wear a scarf, like kind of like this. I think I wore this. And as I'm trying on my clothes, I was like, man, I'm kind of like talking to myself, but talking out loud. I'm like, I don't know if I should wear the scarf. And he's like, let me see. He like, put the scarf on. Now let me see without the scarf. He was like, do the scarf. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do the scarf. He's like, you look good. You know, hyping me up, y'all. So y'all, we go out. Y'all, I had so much fun. Y'all. I don't think we got back to the hotel till 8 o'clock the next morning. We went out, and after we went out, we stopped somewhere. I don't even remember where we stopped to get food. We stopped to get something to eat, and then we went back to the hotel. Like I said, it had to be like 8 a.m. I'm gonna try to insert clips of when we went, y'all, in this video. But y'all, I had the time of my life. So y'all, like I said, after that we would talk a little bit. You know, we would hang out here and there. We hung out a few times after that. But after that, you know, some years later, after I think my daughter was maybe 5, I started like getting serious with this other guy that I was talking to. So it's kind of like I kind of had to leave him alone, because I couldn't. Although, like, I know my mama seen it. I know he felt like, you know, we should have been together. But it was just like, after you lie like that, like, even though we're cool, like, we're really good friends, like, you might, you know what I'm saying? I just couldn't imagine being in a real relationship with this person after he lied. And even though, you know, it was years later, he was older, I was older. And, like, you know, he even talked about that when we had a conversation about it. He was like, you know, I was so young, and I apologize again. He was just like, I just really didn't know what to do. And he was like, you know, fast forward to me being older now, you know, I know better, I can do better. And I'm like, I feel like once I've given you a fair chance, it's somebody else's turn. I'm gonna give somebody else a fair chance. So I decided to give the person that I was dealing with a fair chance. So I had to, of course, you know, kind of leave my friend alone and leave there where it was. And that was it, y'all. That's what happened. So We still follow I'm not even sure if we still follow each other on Instagram. Maybe we do. I'm not sure, but I think we still follow each other on Instagram. I have no hard feelings towards this man. He was a damn good friend to me and protector, y'all. This man will protect me with his life. But I'm just like, you know, even though we were younger, I just can't see me. I can't do it, because in the back of my head, I'm always be like, you lying? Are you lying again? Did you go back to lying again? So I just couldn't do it. It's just like, you know, we getting older. I don't want to waste nobody's time. I don't want nobody to waste my time. So I had to let that go, y'all. I just really had to let it go. And like I said, I feel like I lost a friend, a really good friend, because he was a really good friend to me. Like, y'all, we had some of the best times of our lives together. And it was kind of like, I was with him when neither one of us had nothing, you know. So it was kind of bittersweet, but y'all, men lie. They do. And I just couldn't see myself giving him another chance. Even though we were young, I just couldn't see myself doing it. So I ended up leaving it alone to be in the relationship that I am in now. And y'all, yeah, that's what happened. And that is the story on how he cheated on me with his sister. Anywho, y'all, I was trying to try something different on my channel just to see, you know, if y'all like this. And I figured that this was a really good story to give. So y'all let me know how y'all liked it. Did y'all enjoy it? Was it entertaining? Y'all let me know if y'all have any questions in the comments, y'all. I hope y'all enjoy. And y'all, don't forget, before y'all leave up out of here, before y'all go, y'all like free shit? I like free shit. Everybody like free shit. Don't forget to like the video, y'all. It is free to like the video, y'all. That will help me to push my videos out. That will help YouTube to push my videos out, y'all. And it's free. So y'all, don't forget to like this video and subscribe. And I will see y'all in the next video. Thank y'all for listening. Bye.